Black survival in Nazi America. Repeat after me, guys. Black survival.
Black survival
in Nazi America.
in Nazi America.
Okay, before we get started, I want everyone to get hello to Sadiq. Go ahead, champ.
How are you guys doing? Hope everybody having a good day. Enjoy. Attorney. Awesome.
And Big Zeke, what you got to say?
So guys, stay tuned for the whole thing.
All right. I bought my Glock for this show. All right, let's set this tone right now how it's supposed to be. I bought the Glock. Y'all know if somebody comes with the Glock, they mean business. Okay? We got the Glock here. My name on Facebook is Vernon Jackson. So if y'all want to watch on Facebook Live, it's Vernon Jackson. All right? And don't forget to go subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is under Vernon Jackson. I'm going to change it to something more catchy soon, but right now it's just Vernon Jackson. We have past discussions on there, and a lot of the rules that we're going to discuss tonight I've had in past discussions, but it's like people wasn't listening then. All of a sudden, since the Nazis came out, we done got another 1,500 followers on Instagram. Everybody want to start a BPM chapter in a gun club, and now all of a sudden they want to buy the blueprint. The blueprint been out probably 6 or 8 months. Now all of a sudden when the Nazis come out, you know, people want to pay attention. But it's okay. God has to warn us sometimes, so it's okay. Let's take it for what it is. Number one, before I get started, I want to say we're going to be having the Marcus Garvey celebration here in Jacksonville, Florida, this Saturday and Sunday. Saturday we'll be out at the park at the intersection of Elm and Jackson Street. If you're in Florida, we're going to have a meet and greet for Professor Griff, who's going to be the keynote speaker on Sunday. He's going to be out there greeting the people. We're going to be having a cookout. We're going to have the BPM youth out there. We're going to have the whole city of Jacksonville. Sunday we're going to be out at historic American Beach, which was once all black owned, but you know how integration did us. And so we're going there to recognize, celebrate, honor one of our great ancestors. So come on out if you're in North Florida. I don't care if you're in South Florida. I don't care if you're in Georgia. I'd rather be around some Garveyites at this time than any other kind of Martin Luther Kingites or any other kind of ites. So come on out. Now, let's get down to business. Black survival in Nazi America. The one thing that I want to start off by letting everyone know is Nazism is the American way. Okay? Remember that as we go through this. See, what's your understanding of Nazism? Nazism. What's your understanding of it?
It's when you hate particular people just because of who they are. In particular with the Jews when they first did it.
Hate particular people because of who they are, and specifically the Jews. Yeah. Okay, what you got, Sadiq?
A gang of white people, a gang of Europeans disliking others, like Irish.
So would the Irish be Nazis, or would they be people that Nazis don't like?
Nazis don't like.
They don't like. Well, the Irish got in by hating us, but you're right. Originally, they were not considered all the way white. Okay, Sadiq thinks about a gang of Europeans that hate particular groups. So I guess the one word here that keeps coming up is hate. Hate is a key. Hate is a key to Nazism. Where did Nazism come from, Zeke? Hitler. Now that's what we have to correct right there. That's what we have to correct. Because this is what they're doing. They're trying to say, the news outlets and the various people who want to pretend to be liberal or open-minded, they're trying to say, I can't believe America has Nazis in 2017. They're trying to make it seem as if the American Europeans have adopted something from Germany or taken an ideology from, like Zeke said, Hitler, and taken it over here, and they can't believe we bought it over here. But the truth is that the Germans got Nazism from us. Why? Because Nazism is basically a political system built on a scientific explanation or justification for white supremacy, right? Nazism was a political and economic system based in eugenics. And eugenics comes from America. Okay? Eugenics is a pseudoscience created by white supremacists in America that the Nazis looked at to get their framework set up for white superiority and the extermination of all other races. All right? So, American racists and skinheads didn't get Nazism from Germany. Germany got it from us because we came with the eugenics. Well, not we. Don't put me in that. Right? Don't put me in that. I'm going to give you some names. Now, I'm going to give you 3 names so you can go back and fact check this. Because Adolf Hitler learned a lot from our eugenics movement. He just went and took it a step further. All right? I keep saying our. Let me stop saying that. I have nothing to do with it. Now, Americans. You had a guy by the name of Francis Galton. He's called the father of eugenics. He's a cousin of Charles Darwin. Now, in Germany, when they were teaching Nazism in their universities and in their schools, they taught from the writings of an American racist. They used the writings of an American racist by the name of Lothrop Stoddard. Okay? His writings are what they used to teach Nazism. So it's not going from there to here, it's going from here to there. Do you see? Okay. Now, this is another person that everybody better get a good grip on because she's so important. She's such a devil. She's such a devil, and anybody who supports this devil got to be a devil. And that's Margaret Sanger. Anybody know who that is? Mm-hmm. Who that's?
That's the I think that's the lady that made the birth. Like if somebody pregnant, they want the baby to be dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
well, they don't have to want it to be dead because she wants it to be dead if they're black, right? What you know about Margaret, Zeke?
She started the Planned Parenthood.
And why she started it?
She was like, the black race is like a pest that needs to be
weeds that need you correct. See, these BPM boys been listening. Now, Margaret Sanger was a figurehead, a vocal proponent, a nationally known advocate for eugenics. Before there was a Planned Parenthood, she went around advocating, teaching that all inferior races, inferior stock needed to be eliminated, wiped out, sequestered, and exterminated. These were her teachings. Okay? Before there was a Planned Parenthood. Margaret Sanger was invited to speak in front of a bunch of Klan rallies. Because when she said inferior races, inferior stocks, feeble-minded, the poor, the illiterate, it always meant black, and they knew it. So she was invited to speak around the country at Klan rallies because they said, these black people are off the plantations. We can't get them all out of the country. Let's find every way we can to exterminate them. And if we not, and let me give you another fact. In 1919, now you go check this out. Always go check it out. And a lot of this is coming from a documentary called Black Genocide in the American Genocide or Black Genocide in the 21st Century. It focuses on eugenics and abortion, and it's a great one. You ought to watch it. So a lot of this is in there, but what I wanted the point I wanted to make is that in 1919, right before Adolf had ever set up a concentration camp, do you know who was in America advocating for concentration camps? Margaret Sanger. She was advocating for the government to set aside land to build work camps and prisons and compounds to take all the feeble-minded, lazy, trash, racist, all the racists that were an inferior race, she's talking about blacks, and sequester them, make them work, you can experiment on them. She was advocating for internment camps way back in 1919. So again, Americans didn't get this idea of Nazism. Americans were always white supremacists with eugenics. I'm talking about white Americans, Europeans. I mean, the first thing they did when they got here was genocide. We don't got to go all the way back to that, though. Okay. Now that we got Margaret Sanger, and remember when I said if you love a devil, if you support a devil, you must be a devil. Well, you know who looks up to Margaret Sanger?
Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton. Now, all you damn so-called liberals and Democrats talking about we should have got Hillary in the White House and we'll be better off because Hillary would be better than Trump. Huh? Hillary Clinton idolizes Margaret Sanger. Hillary Clinton wants a Planned Parenthood on every corner in every black neighborhood. How in the blue hell you gonna tell me that I should have voted for a devil? I'm never gonna pick a devil again. They got me with Obama. And then Chancellor Williams was trying to warn us about the mulatto trick. And I read Chancellor Williams after the first Obama. I should have known better than the second Obama. But they got me with you got to choose the lesser of two evils. No, the hell you don't. Don't choose no evil. How about that? Right? How about that? Now this only going to get worse from here. Hillary Clinton's idol is Margaret Sanger. Let's cement. I'm going to cement this because there are going to be some Europeans out there saying, how can he say that Nazism came from America? They're going to try to attack me. You know, when a black man speaks his mind and he's not speaking what they want to hear, they try to call him stupid, radical, loud, dumb, challenge his credentials. You know how they did Dr. Umar when he told you to stop swirling? That's what they're going to try to say. Now check this out. I'm going to prove my case. Hitler, the one who Zeke said started Nazism. You still stand by that statement? Hitler. There was a book that Hitler read before he wrote Mein Kampf. There was a book that Hitler read. Now go research this. Hitler loved this book about racism and white supremacy and the segregation of the races and the elimination of the so-called inferior races. But we know that's not true. I mean, I could prove that in 10 words or less. I'll slap Hitler in the face with a book from Sheikh Anta Diop and prove that in 20 minutes, okay? But there was a book that Hitler considered his Bible when it comes to eugenics, okay? And that book was written by an American by the name of Madison Grant. And the book is called The Passing of the Great Race. Now, if Americans got Nazism from Germany, how in the hell did Adolf get Nazism from America? Right? With his dumb ass. Because the Aryan symbol was an African symbol, the swastika, with his stupid ass. That's how stupid they are. But I ain't going to get into that right now. They're like hard rock. They'll remember that black people created rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? The racists up there doing hard rock racist songs and be the one created rock and roll. And punk ass Elvis stole it. But y'all finna let Bruno Mars do it again anyway, so ain't no big deal with that. But back to what I was saying. The book that Adolf considered his Bible was written by an American eugenicist. And the policies advocated by that American went into Adolf's policies. And so I think it's safe to say, it's fundamentally sound to say that the Americans created pseudo-scientific white supremacy and laid the framework and the so-called intellectual foundations for Nazism. Have I proved my case? Have I given you enough?
Yeah.
If not, go back and watch that documentary. Then I want you to pull up that book, see if Hitler loved that book, and we'll be able to prove our case. Now, let's go a little further with this. One last point for the Europeans or Uncle Toms who don't believe me. I ain't saying you're Uncle Tom if you don't believe me, but I'm just saying you're wrong. The American super wealthy elite, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, these families, these wealthy, they've been senators, they got railroads, they got this, they got that. They've been through all levels of American life. Have always been the number one funders and proponents of eugenics and population control. And population control has always meant wipe out the blacks because they're not trying to limit their own population. Right? They're not trying to limit their own population, only ours. So I'm glad they went marching so we could talk about this, because people keep saying, this the thing I hate to hear the worst. Ray Lewis will say it very often, big old Sambo. And even people who I respect somewhat, guess I don't respect them no more, they'll say, what we need to do is have a conversation on race. Obama used to say this shit all the time. What we need to do is have a conversation about race, an open, honest conversation. No, the hell we don't. What we need to do is separate and be independent, socially, economically, and politically, whether that's here or back home, because it's not going to work. Integration has done us a hell of a lot more harm than good. So stop talking about we need to have a conversation on race. Didn't we already have it when they shot Malcolm, Martin, Medgar Evers? Didn't we already have it when they took down Robert F. Williams and put little wimps like Bayard Rustin and James Baldwin in charge of our movement? Didn't we already have a conversation when they had Kennedy and Nixon? And we've been having a damn conversation since we've been here. Yeah, we need to keep talking for. Hey, white person, tell me how you feel about us, and I'll tell you how I feel about you. And what the hell that's going to do? We'll still be poor. Y'all want to have a conversation with white people about race? I don't want to talk to white people about race. I already know their opinion. Need them telling me that. Out in the open, now we got to have a fight. Okay. Now that we got that down, the richest and the wealthiest in this country funded the eugenics movement. Now, what tactics did they use? Forced sterilization, mass incarceration, so-called family planning to encourage abortions, threatening moms that went to the hospital and said, if you want treatment, you have to become sterilized right now. Every low-key method they could use to limit our reproduction, they did it. You know, they always had the lynchings. That's out in the open. They always did the mass incarceration, convict leads straight from the plantation to the prison. But then they said, we got to start limiting their numbers and we got to wipe them out. And now they got the gender confusion. Because you don't even have to have an abortion if the black man and black woman won't even get together no more. Wait, no need for an abortion. Job done. Case closed. No more Negroes. Do you see? All right. So they pretty crafty now, but we're gonna pull the what they call it. We're gonna pull the sheep's clothing off of the wolf.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, this is another thing I don't want you to do. Now, before I go into this, I want you to understand. I do not advocate getting in the middle of a fight when white people are fighting. If there's a leftist white group out there fighting a right-wing white group, you know whose side I'm taking? My sofa. Okay? Y'all got that? If there's a so-called radical white group out there fighting some neo-Nazis, you know whose side I'm taking? My couch. Because if you go try to get into the middle of that battle, the consequences that will befall you are always worse. Right? You the one going to get arrested, get your ass beaten if you end up killing somebody, prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. When white people tear shit up, it could be the World Series, they don't win, turn over cars, tear down the buildings, nobody go to jail. 3 black boys get killed, we get mad, throw a few bottles, military. Right? Military. Right? So I'm not going out there to get in their battles. We're going to get to that later. I ain't going out there to get in their battles, but I wanted to say that before I say this. Don't let Donald Trump or anybody create a false equivalence. Because what they're trying to do is say, well, the other side was being violent, so you can't really blame the Nazis. Both sides were wrong. See, that's the first step he used to try to justify this. There's blame on both sides. Does that make sense? Is that a fair statement, Zeke? Is blame on both sides? Why not?
Because talking about between the two European because the radical ones, they actually trying to push forward the agenda to white people out.
The Nazis?
Yeah.
Correct. It's that simple. If you show up to fight a Nazi, that doesn't make you a bad person, right? Last I checked, we supposedly had a war against the Nazis. Well, I keep saying we. Last I checked, America had a war against the Nazis. It's supposed to be, you're supposed to stand up to Nazis, right? You're supposed to, because one group is coming out there saying, we want to wipe out blacks, we want to wipe out Jews, we want to purge this nation, we'll do it by violence, no one can stop us, not even the police. That's what one group is saying. The other group is saying, nah, not so fast, right? And even the black ones that are out there. If you're standing up against devils, that doesn't make you bad, right? But Trump tried to say, well, there was bad people on both sides, and not all of the white supremacists were white supremacists. What? Boy, look at here. I'm going to get to Donald Trump a little bit later, but Donald Trump is dangerous as shit. Now, I want y'all to understand me well. It's time to stop playing. Because the white supremacists, the Dylan Roofs, they take signals. They take coded language and they run with it. Right? Just like the damn idiot drove the car 100 miles an hour, hit 19 people and injured them. They only talk about the one white girl that he killed, but he injured black people too. Right? They take coded language. And Trump is giving them this coded language. So this is coming from the highest office in the land. Right? Now, for all these years that they've been saying, Vern, why you got all them guns? Why you got all them boys out there shooting? Why you teaching them how to box? Why you teaching them how to wrestle? You so hyper masculine. I'm glad I came to this point. Because I want every bastard, black bastard, especially the women, black feminists, and the male co-defendants, whoever said the word hyper masculine, I want you to slap your stupid self in the face right now. Because when you got 150 or 100,000 Nazis marching at you with torches, bats, guns, rocks, billy clubs, you think D-Ray McKesson gonna protect you? Hell no. He gonna be trying to make sure his vest don't get dirty, back there trying to tweet, talking about black power. You think D-Ray McKesson gonna protect you? Talking about gender fluidity. You think these gender fluid, fingernail polish wearing, young thug, carry a purse, Lil Uzi Vert, they gonna protect you? Prancing Elite, they gonna protect you? I kept telling everybody that we was gonna need black manhood one day. We was gonna need it. Now when you got the Nazis marching, I wonder how many of these black damn feminists running behind D-Rays and Don Lemons. They ain't gonna do shit. Can't fight. Get out there trying to grab some hair. Ain't gonna bust a grape. Talking about hyper masculine. I'm talking about manhood. It's needed. Okay. When the Nazis come to your city, we're gonna get to that next. When the Nazis come to your city, right? Because I didn't see D-Ray out there fighting. I can't imagine D-Ray fighting. Can't imagine Young Thug fighting. I saw him hitting some pads one day. He looked like a retarded, that word might be politically incorrect, but who cares? A retarded girl from Asia. Hey, you know how they advocate, you know, they're gonna be who they're gonna be. And they can wear the dresses and the purses. You got football players and basketball players out here wearing purses and tight jeans and Cam Newton punk ass. Hey, don't be so judgmental. Well, how the hell you gonna fight Nazis in a dress? What you think, Zeke?
Yes, not a good plan.
Okay. We used to have Malcolm. We used to have Elijah. We used to have Robert F. Williams. We used to have men like Khalid Muhammad. Now we got D-Ray to fight for us? Pshy ass going down. But not if I got anything to say about it. We bringing black manhood back. And I ain't advocating no sort of violence. I'm advocating intelligent, responsible self-defense and group defense. Right? I ain't never said go chase down any person and just kill them. Never said that. Never would advocate that. That's dumb as hell. That'd be murder. But if a bastard comes to harm you and your family, and in my case, my family, You might get away with doing something to me one time. But if a bastard comes to do something to your wife, your daughters, your sons, you better make sure he's the deadest guy in the cemetery. Right? So I got a little off track because I can't stand the prancing elite and what's being advocated as acceptable for our boys. But now we see why that's totally unacceptable. We'll be wiped out. And I want every intellectual, feminist, bougie, professor, and idiot who's been advocating that shit to tell me what we're going to do if all our boys, or a large percentage of our boys, are walking around acting like D-Ray and Young Thug and Lil Uzi Vert and RuPaul and Prancing Elite and Bruce Jenner. If our boys go ahead and fall into that, who's going to fight for us? You're going to be coming talking about, where's the hyper-masculine men? We need something. No, you get the hell out of my face. I want you to die. Nah. Since we don't need to lift weights. Okay, let me get back on script here. But I can't stand those bastards. All right. Don't let them create a false equivalence. You're not a troublemaker for fighting Nazis. And this is the one thing you always need to understand. They'll try to say, well, yeah, the Klan was bad, but what about the Black Panthers? Yeah, the white nationalists are bad, but what about Black Power? What about Black Pride? Okay. For every other group, well, I'm just going to talk about blacks now because I don't care about the others when it comes to nation building. For every other group, for us, Black Pride means know your history, know your ancestors, honor your ancestors, learn your ancient cultures, live in that, learn the value in your ancient spiritual systems, right? Live the way your ancestors would have you to live and be proud of it and hold your head up high and build your communities, build families. This is what Black Pride means. I'm black and I'm proud. Now, did anything say go hang people in that? Did you ever tell us to go lynch somebody? Okay, did Dr. Khaled ever say go burn down a church? Did you ever hear it? Did Robert F. Williams ever say go blow up some damn girls on the church step? Right? Our pride is not their pride. They say, well, if you can have black pride, we can have white pride. Yeah, but our black pride doesn't include lynching anybody. Our black pride doesn't include any Nazi symbols. Our black pride doesn't include burning any churches. I honestly don't know one white church a Black Panther ever bombed. Do you? Mm-mm. Black people respect God too much to ever go bomb a church. That's because we spiritual people. But what I'm saying is this. Don't let them try to say that our pride is equivalent to their pride. It's not. It's not. I don't think. Matter of fact, I know Malcolm never lynched nobody. That's about most militant. That's as militant as they come. Malcolm and Robert F. That don't mean they ain't lynched nobody. So our pride is not equivalent to their pride. Now this is a big question, and this is a big question for all the Uncle Toms and all the coons. And this is also a good question for all the middle of the road black gay boule. How big is this problem? How big and widespread is the problem of deeply entrenched white supremacy in America? Is it just 5% of whites, 10% of whites? Is it only rich whites or poor whites? Is it only liberal whites or conservative whites? Is it only unemployed whites? Which whites? How widespread is this problem? What you say, Z?
As far as the percent wise, it's at least 85, 90.
85, 90. What you say, Sadiq?
I say, probably was easy 85, 90 because there's a lot of people out there, racist people.
There's a lot of racists. Okay, so they say it's widespread. They say it's damn near all. Okay, so let me give it. This I'm gonna give it to you. I'm going to break this thing down into different, I don't know what you want to call it, socioeconomic, political classes, whatever you want. But if you ask me, how big of a problem is white supremacy, racism? That's what Dr. Francis Welsing would say. Francis Cress Welsing. Racism, white supremacy. How big is the problem in America? Because they say, but that was just in Virginia, just a few Nazis. It's a few. They're just in the South. That's what they're just in the South. Nigga, no, they Ohio. They got more Klan members than you can shake a stick at. That's not the South. Okay? So this is how I'm going to break this down. We know that the wealthy elite whites have high levels of white supremacy. Well, how can we measure that? Here's a piece of evidence. The NFL owners, some of the richest people in the country, right? Some of the richest men. If you own an NFL team, you're elite. You're not rich, you filthy, right? If you own an NFL team. Well, what are their racial views? If you protest racism, you can't play no more. Hey, I think that's a surefire sign that they're pretty racist, right? You could kill somebody drinking and driving, beat your wife, beat down some women, drink and drive, fight. You can do anything, but don't you dare oppose white supremacy. So I think Colin Kaepernick, has he got a job yet? And I ain't no Colin Kaepernick fan. But all I know is every single owner in that league said you can't play anymore. When that man is 6'4", can run a 4.4, throw every route you want to run, and took a team to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust him, but the facts are he's one heck of a quarterback, and he can't get no job, not even a backup. That tells me the owners are racist. What's another one? What's this man? Riley. What's his name? Riley Cooper. The one that called everybody a nigger.
Oh, Pat.
The one for the Eagles. He played wide receiver for the Eagles, and he called everybody a nigger. And then the Eagles still let him play. Riley Cooper. I think that was that his name?
I think.
Riley Cooper. I put Riley Spencer. I don't know what his name is, but yeah, wide receiver. Called everybody. Used the N-word, cussing everybody out. Said he'll beat up every nigger he sees. He didn't get blackballed. He didn't miss a game, right? I think this is pretty convincing evidence that those owners are fine with white supremacy, but don't you dare stand up against it. So we got the wealthy owners in the NFL. They're racist. What about the NBA? They're more liberal? Come on. What did that owner tell the guy who was the owner for the Clippers? What was his name? I forget his name. He was a rich Jewish guy. He told his girlfriend, don't you be bringing no niggers to my games. They made him sell the team for like 10 times what Riley Cooper, that's his name, what he bought it for, right? But that man had been in the league for how many, 20, 30 years? So if all those owners had him around saying racist stuff all this time, what that tell me? They in with it. They down with it, right? So those are some of the wealthiest people in the world. You know they're racist, okay? So either they are outright racist or they sympathize with it. So we can say the rich whites have high levels of white supremacy, and I can go on and on with that. You got Bill Gates and his immunizations going around the country, poisoning, not around the country, around the world, particularly Africa, poisoning people. You see what I'm saying? Going around the country poisoning people. Not the country, the world. I'm looking at Facebook, something going on. Somebody asked a question. I think it's okay. All right, you got Bill Gates, one of the richest. I think he is the richest in the world. You know he's a racist. You got Black Lives Matter. Who's that rich European that funds Black Lives Matter? I don't know. I forget his name, but he's clearly a racist trying to replace our true leadership with gender-confused bullshit. Okay, the political class, are they racist? I don't think we even have to talk about that tonight. All I got to say is Donald Trump. Let me go ahead and give a little thing on Donald Trump right now. Donald Trump went on his press conference and for 20 minutes defended the white supremacists. He said that they're taking down statues that are important to us, and they took down I believe it was Robert E. Lee. What's next? Are they going to get Thomas Jefferson just because he was a big George Soros? That's the rich white supremacist. Are they going to get Thomas Jefferson just because he was a big-time slave owner? Were they going to get George Washington because he was a slave owner? They're going to take down all our heroes. This is galvanizing the white supremacists, right? And he's saying, well, what? They say this is the alt-right. They're evil. He said, well, what about the alt-left? Shifting the blame. like they did to Trayvon Martin, shifting the blame. These are racist tactics, right? And this is the president. This is the most powerful man in the world. And the white supremacists are being told, you don't have to hide no more. Come on out and do what you want. I'll back you up. Just like he told the police, don't be nice to black people. You know when they say thugs, who they're talking about. Don't be so nice. You helping them into the car. Just throw them in. Be a little bit rougher. Do you know what? And you know the police departments are full of white supremacists. I see so many police officers with shaved heads. When I go in the courtroom, I be wanting to leave, and I'm a lawyer. Okay? So, the political class, this is a dangerous, diabolical president, but I'm glad he's bringing everything to the surface so we can really have this discussion, because black people didn't want to hear this. They wanted to keep saying we have overcome, we have gotten affirmative action, some of us got jobs, we've been integrated, we've made progress. I had a black man about 55, 60 years old tell me we were in the promised land under Obama. Y'all remember that? When we were at that debate, when we were at that panel at EWC, he said we were in the promised land under Obama and we could have had 8 more years if we got Hillary. I said, how the hell we was in the promised land when they killed Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, Sandra Bland, John Crawford, Eric Garner, damn, Jordan Davis, damn, how we was in the promised land? Where you live at, nigga? I mean, brother, I'm trying to stop saying that word. I don't know what land he was in, Cleveland, Oakland, what land he was in, but I don't know. But what was I talking about? I was talking about Trump. Mm-hmm. Okay, very dangerous. Trump has a Breitbart white supremacist advisor by the name of Steve Bannon. Is that his name? Open white supremacist. Open. Started a website just so white supremacists could converse together in safety. Bannon. But I thought Bannon was the worst till I found about this guy, Sebastian Gorka, one of Trump's key advisors. I want y'all to go Google Gorka. His name is Sebastian Gorka, Gorka, who shows up to White House functions wearing a Nazi pin. Oh, so it's in the political class too. Now that's no big deal because we already had Trent Lott in Congress. We already had David Duke in political office. We have a long history of racist politicians in this country, from local all the way up to the federal level. But I'm just saying, if we're asking how widespread is this problem, just look at the White House. Okay, just look at the White House. And when I mentioned David Duke, he was out there one of the leaders of this Confederate rally out there in Virginia. David Duke was all out there, and he said, we are here because we are pursuing Donald Trump's promise to us that we are going to take America back and make America great again. So these people are inspired by Donald Trump. Hate to tell you, you're going to have to start training soon. That's why I already been training. Y'all worried? Mm-hmm. Now what's that song they made? I ain't worried about nothing. All right? I ain't worried about nothing. Don't get scared. Get prepared. Now, here we go. Poor whites. So we got the rich whites. We got the political whites. Are the poor whites racist? The poor whites ought to have something in common with the black folk if they've been through a struggle. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Exhibit A. What was going on in Virginia in those rallies? Was there violence? Mm-hmm. Were the white supremacists attacking people? Were they tearing shit up? Yeah. Were they doing it for the Nazi cause? Mm-hmm. What were poor white people all across the country doing at every Trump campaign event? Was there violence? Were they attacking black people? Yeah. Were they tearing stuff up? Was it all in the name of white supremacy? Yeah. So the poor whites, I don't know why we're so surprised about Virginia. They did at every Donald Trump event. I mean, they was beating up black girls. They'll beat up black elderly people, punch them in the face. They'll be pushing them and shoving them and spitting on them and calling them a nigger. They'll be yelling out white power. We already had the Virginia rally at every Trump campaign rally. So why are you so surprised? And those was poor whites. I'm talking about, I done seen white trucks with no tailgate, bald tires that look like about to pop, no air conditioning, riding with the windows down, with Trump for America stickers. I'm talking about poor white trash. I don't know what Trump gonna do for him, but I hope he gonna give him a small loan of $1 million like his daddy gave him. But so now we got the wealthy whites, the political whites, the poor whites. So what about the liberals? Are they less racist? The progressives, the Democrats?
No,
Why you say no?
because I feel like what there's the only difference is how whether it's covert or not. That's the only thing they seem to be against.
The only difference is whether it's covert or not. All right, everybody ready for this? How can I prove that the liberals are racist? I just told you that Hillary Clinton's hero was Margaret Sanger, did I not? Go Google it. She said it herself. Now, throughout the campaign, when they were leaking Hillary's emails, and by the way, you don't leak nothing, because if you leak something from Hillary, you turn up dead. But anyway, they leaked a few things from the Hillary campaign. And they were calling the black people Operation Watermelon and Operation Fried Chicken and all these racist terms. And you're sitting here telling me that the liberals are less racist than the Republicans? Okay, Mr. Watermelon. You got Bill Gates, who's supposed to be a liberal, going around poisoning black children all around the world with his immunizations. You got the Hillary campaign. It leaked just how racist they were, insulting the blacks and belittling them and keeping our issues at the bottom of the barrel. And then you got the Clintons and what they did in Haiti. I think that damns them to hell. From organ trafficking, stealing the money, all of the sadistic things they did to our brothers and sisters in Haiti. And you're going to tell me that the American liberals are less racist than the American conservatives? Get the hell out of here. So we got white supremacy amongst the rich, amongst the poor, amongst the left, amongst the right, amongst the political class, amongst the non-political. You got a white supremacy everywhere. So when they said 90%, they might have been underestimating. So it's a huge problem. Everybody who wants to run. See, this is the thing about this Donald Trump now. Because this is one thing I learned. Sometimes when you have a choice whether to fight or not, you choose to just hope you don't have to out of fear. Right? But as soon as that choice is taken away, when you realize you have to fight, then you just go ahead and be brave because you got no other choice. Right? And I think that black people have been looking for a way out of fighting since we've been here. You see? And the more the integration went on and the fake affirmative action class and the boule class, the more they put that in our face, we use that as an excuse not to fight. And we kept wanting not to have to fight. Well, we're peaceful people and some of us are cowards. Who said that? George Jackson. Patience is a good thing, but too much patience and it's just cowardice after that. Right? Black August, George Jackson. So anyway, now, people are going to have to be brave. Because, put it like this. If you're walking down the street with your daughter, and you're by yourself, and you see 3 white people coming at you, 3 anybody, but we're talking about Europeans, so let's just go ahead and do it. You see 3 Europeans coming at you, and you're just hoping they don't bother you. And you just try to move out the way, and keep your daughter to the side, and that's Jonathan. Go get the dope. Sadiq. Move out the way. You're just hoping to get by, right? But if those Europeans are coming at you with Nazi symbols on their shirt, talking about Hail Hitler, you know you're gonna have to get ready to fight. That's the bottom line. Might as well get ready now. Do you see? Do you see what I'm saying? So now you know, black people. Now you know, you better be ready to defend yourselves, defend your families and your communities at all times. That's what I'm going to hit at the end. I'm almost done here. Give me about 10 more minutes. I'm going to be on the steps that we're going to take. We're going to wrap this up. Now, this is the thing I want you to know. That thing in Virginia was only, well, I won't say that's the first step because they already started with the Trump rallies all around the world. Okay? So here we go. Where are they going to go next? Where's the next big outing gonna come? What's gonna be the next white supremacy Super Bowl? Where are the Hitlerites headed next? Because you know, just because you live in an area where you think there are no Hitlerites, the Hitlerites travel. Most of them weren't from Charlottesville. Do you see? So you're not safe. You're not gonna be safe. Repeat after me. You're not safe.
Not safe.
You're not safe.
Not safe.
But now I am. Baby! You better keep Big Dares locked and loaded. I'm going to give you some tools for survival. Now, my wife kept telling me don't buy all them guns, but she ain't saying that no more. When I have to go out of town, I come back and she got an AK-47 right on the side of the bed. I say, what the hell you was doing? Hey, we strapped up right now. Okay? Now, before I get to the steps for survival, I want you to talk about where they're going to go with this. Because they went to Charlottesville. The white supremacists flooded that city. Why, Vern?
Because nobody was expecting it?
Nope. Because that city had decided to take down a Confederate statue.
Oh.
They said, no, that's our heritage. We love the Confederacy. We love slavery. The South shall rise again. So you're not going to take our statue down, or we're going to come out and be ready to fight. Right? They came out ready to fight, not to talk. They didn't come out to have a conversation on race. My bad. Yes, they did. They was like, hey, die, nigger. End the talk. You're dead now. End the talk. Okay. These statues are all around the country. And oddly enough, the city councils in different cities around the country, even right here in Jacksonville, are talking about taking down these Confederate statues. Okay? Robert E. Lee, all these racist bastards, take them down. Everybody be like, yeah, take them down, right? Mm-hmm. But wait a minute. If that is what precipitated the violence in Charlottesville, do you not think they'll do it somewhere else if they try to take down a statue? Now, I don't give a damn about the statue. But I don't think black people are the ones deciding whether these statues come down or not. And I don't think white people just realized that these statues was racist. You see what I'm saying? They didn't just realize that they want to take them down. So why all of a sudden they want to take these statues down? Any ideas? Y'all know?
That's probably Trump, them taking orders.
That's what I'm saying. You know that these statues are going to instigate violence. You been knew the statues were racist. Now all of a sudden we have movements all around the city to take them down. So when they take these statues down, the city is going to still be racist. The blacks won't have the resources they need. Nothing's going to change for us. All you doing is giving the white people a reason to rally, if you ask me. Do you think? Mm-hmm. Because we didn't tell you to take the statues down. I wasn't even giving a damn about the statue. I spit on it when I walked by. But I didn't know you was going to start taking them down, sparking rallies all over the country and getting the white supremacists turned up, and Trump was ready to back them up. Do you see? So if you live in a city like Jacksonville, where I do, where we have a bunch of racist symbols and statues like I do, and your city council is discussing taking those down soon, you better go over to your local gun store. Okay? You better ask for something with a lot of rounds and a lot of stopping power. You better go to your local gun range. You better start to practice. You better, I'll get to the steps later. I'm about to go to the steps, but where they going? Wherever there's statues going down, they might be around. LaToya Hamer said they got 9 cities planned. So you saying they got 9 cities planned, the whole rally is all ready, even if there's no statues coming down? Let us know, because if they got 9 cities planned, post those cities so we can start getting ready. Hope y'all ready. Now, another place where this is going to break out, college campuses. All right? White supremacists always target college campuses because some of the best races are the young races. Some of the best. See, the alt-right, they got the educated young racists. That Spencer guy, educated young articulate racists, white racists, right? So they go into these college campuses, and the academic forum is supposed to be all free. Let us have our hate rallies, right? So college campuses are going to be another place. If you live near a college campus, a large white college, and you hear them planning to have a big forum for David Duke and the alt-right, then let me tell you, there might be some stuff that night. Okay, where are they taking down the statues? The college campuses. Now look, once they get done having their rallies and they coming out parties, let's just consider these their coming out parties. Trump, they had the Trump season. Now they're going to have some more where there's a statue taken down. Latoya says they got 9 cities planned. She's going to post those. They're going to be at college campuses. They're going to let you know we're here and we're ready to kill, right? And you know what's next? They're going to start doing night raids into the black community. Do you see what I'm saying? Because none of these previous steps involve the black community. If they just stayed at the college campus or out there where the statue's being torn down, they can't get who they want, right? They can't really get who they want. They can't get us because we're not there. We're still sequestered in our own little areas. We are what they want. Now, Tariq Nasheed always says this. Black people are the white supremacists' ultimate goal, and you better believe it. Who made that song? You better believe it. Jeezy and Bootsy, you better believe it. We their ultimate goal. Now, they ain't crazy enough to just run up in a black neighborhood right now because the hood's strapped up. If they're going to go anywhere, it'll probably be a middle-class neighborhood because the bougie ain't strapped up. But they're going to start doing night raids, meaning if your black behind is walking down the street by yourself in the dark, you might find yourself in a tree, and you ain't going to be trying to pick fruit from that tree. Now, you remember that scene in Get Out when the guy was walking down the street at the beginning? White boy rolled past, turned around, black boy looking, you snatched up. Oh, Get Out was real, big fella. They're going to start making night raids into the community. So we'll discuss a tactic for that when we get to the tactics. And then after they start making their little raids, picking us off, because they already did it with Otis Bird. Go Google Otis Bird from Mississippi. You remember that, Jonathan?
Yeah.
They was looking for a Negro to kill. Just came in at night, snatched them a Negro, hung him.
There's also that dude out of Texas, too.
Dude out of Texas. And they just hung one in Atlanta. Then they hung a girl that was in like North Carolina, said she hung herself. How a Negro gonna go to a white neighborhood? First of all, we can't even get in there. Right? A Negro go to a white neighborhood, get a rope, then you know how to tie a noose. I don't think Negroes studied noose time, but they learn how to tie a noose. Maybe they YouTube it before they go over to the suburb. They learn how to measure the branch, because if you tie that noose too long, you're just going to drop down and hit the ground, right? So they learn how to measure how long the rope is. They're telling me Sandra Bland hung herself with a trash. Shit, come on now. You learn how to measure, so I need to have a 10-foot rope so I can hang right here because I'm 6 foot and that's 10 foot. Even if I tried to do it, it wouldn't work. I'll hit the ground, the rope will still be on my neck. I'll be limping back home with my rope. Right? I can't do that math. I'm 6 foot tall. You need to be another 12. The rope need to, come on now. And then you climb up the tree, tie your own rope sturdy enough for it to hold. Now you done measured it so you know how many times to tie it, because if you tie it too few times, it'll be too long. And then you jump on off to kill yourself, and nobody saw it. But if a nigga go in there trying to cut the grass, 10 cops already be on it. So how you got in there in the first place? This is the most unbelievable stuff I ever seen. But anyway, night raids. And after the night raids comes the open aggression. Like Tariq Nasheed says, if you want to keep an eye on white supremacy, Tariq Nasheed got a telescope following them around, recording everything they do, right? And I agree. After they do their night raids and pick some off there, because they used to like to do these picnics, pick a nigga. They used to like to do these, and now they coming back to them, take pictures with them. See what I'm saying? Man, soon they probably gonna have a picture show up with the white people standing around the body smiling. You remember how they used to do that? One of them probably gonna pop up soon, and then they're gonna come in and march on in with the talking about it's a Second Amendment march. You want to march through your neighborhood? Okay, now all the radicals that been sitting there just waiting to hear me say this. Hand me that AK-47. Everybody who been sitting here like, get to the good part. Here goes the good part. When they get ready to march into your neighborhood, okay, there was a quote when I was in this anarchist class, and they said, you use the enemy's tools to tear down his house or something. I want you to go get something made by a white man. Okay? I want everybody to have a white tool. This is made by a guy named Kalishnikov over in Russia. Get you this white gun. I want you to support white business. Okay? Support white inventions. All right? Because when they get ready to come into our neighborhoods, I don't care when they go tear down the statue. Give a damn about that. But when they get ready to come where we are, that's when you do like Huey Newton and the Panthers said. The sky is the limit. Okay? Because now it's self-defense. Think you finna walk up in my neighborhood? What if my daughter out there riding her bike and 300 Nazis want to walk down the street and yell shit? Okay, I got something for you. Here, I'm going to teach y'all another lesson right now. 1 or 2 guns in the hands of one man don't help nothing. But when everybody has a gun. Okay, he got his own. When everybody has one. I'm talking about Robert F. Williams. Where that book at? I wish I had it on hand. Negroes with Guns. I think it's over. There you go. It's in that second row right there. When everybody, we're going to have to start Instagram over in a second. Don't go nowhere. It's just a time. We'll restart it. Save it, share it, and restart it. When everybody in your community, but just start with your family. See? Okay, now I got to talk about family. Y'all know that's one of my favorite ones. It don't do me no good. Let's let Instagram come back up. Let the people come back in.
How long take to come back in?
Like 2 or 3 minutes.
Let me go. I'm gonna go put the BPM shirt on.
Okay, cool. So give me some more ice so I can drink some more of this Gatorade. All right. We let the Instagram folks come back in. Just give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. But while we wait, it doesn't do a black man it does help you if you armed. But 2 heads are better than 1. And 2 armed black men are better than 1. And Robert F. Williams wrote a book about how he organized in the midst of one of the most racist cities in the country. It was the southeastern headquarters for the Klan. He left us a book, and he didn't have no nuclear bombs or no tanks. All he did is he got some blacks who was willing to train and was tired of getting terrorized. He got some few guns together, didn't need a scar. Get my scar. Didn't need a scar, but he got a few guns together. You can get a Kalishnikov for $600. You can get you a good AR for $600, $650. Now, I'm tired of you telling me you can't get a Kalishnikov when you got red bottoms. Okay? If I see a black man with some Michael Jordan shoes and no Kalishnikov, I'm going to beat his ass tomorrow. Now, here we go. What's going on? My live video ended. How my live video ended? I didn't want to end. Let me fix Facebook. I guess everybody got a time limit. I'll bring it back. I'll come back. Don't worry. I'll come back. We got to get Facebook back up. He had to take the thing down to get the scar. Because I want the scar to be in this video. The scar deserves to be in this video. Dr. Khaled deserves to be in this video. Hope y'all see Dr. Khaled here. I wish Dr. Khaled was still alive. I hope y'all see Dr. Khaled. Okay? Nah. I want to buy this out because this is like my, when some people get some money, they go buy like a Lexus or something. I didn't buy a Lexus. I bought an SUV so that I could transport my BPM soldiers. Make sure it's a 4-wheel drive and a V8. But I did buy this. Now, you do not need this to deal with Nazis, but damn it, it'll help. Okay? Scar 17 shooting 308. Want to see? All right, I'll show it to you. 308, baby. All right, well, how big is 308? Give me an AK bullet out of that Kalashnikov. You know, if you want to just go beyond it, Kalashnikov. Now, Kalashnikov is big and bad. You can get the job done every day. That's my preferred weapon. But I'm just saying, if you might want to reach out a little further and go a little bigger, you might consider a Scar 17 shooting 308. Even though they're making Kalashnikovs that shoot 308s now. They've got Kalashnikov that shoot 308, 7.62 by 51. So you still good to go with that. I'm saving up for a 338 in the pool, 50 BMG, me and myself personally. But you don't need all that neither. All you need is a Kalashnikov and a Glock. A Glock 45. Anything shooting 45 caliber with a Glock XD, they very reliable as well. Okay, but what I was talking about was he left us a book. How to get organized right where you are. You don't need a jet. Okay, with these, how many people I got here? 4 right now. I guarantee we can hold down the entrance to this neighborhood with a couple of Kalashnikovs and one punk ass AR-15. Okay, now so get Robert F. Williams, Negroes with Guns, and if you want to learn how to organize your community, so you can get to the level of Robert F., you need to get the blueprint for Black Youth Empowerment. This is how I started BPM. Me and Jonathan, way back, wasn't but a few of us, many years back, we said we was going to get something organized, right? Now, I guarantee you, all these years later, we got some men soldiers, some young men soldiers. Hell, we got some women soldiers. I bet Miranda will shoot the hell out of a Nazi. And so get this book as well. It'll teach you how to do it. So these two are the combo you need to get. Now, let's go to our tactics. Everybody ready?
Ready.
Number 1, know their symbols and codes. These white supremacists keep changing symbols. Again, you need to go watch Tariq Nasheed. He keep an eye on every symbol they come out with. They got this new thing called Kekistan. Y'all heard of that? It's a new white supremacist fantasy land. They got a green and black flag. It looked kind of like a Nazi thing, but it's not. And then they have a frog. That's one of their main symbols. I don't know what the frog means to them, but they're adopting new symbols and symbology every day. And then this is another one of their symbols that they got from Trump, I guess. And now one of their main uniforms is some brown khakis with a white shirt, like what Trump wears on the golf course. And they also have these particular plaid shirts that they like to wear. And it's endless different. You got the National Socialist Movement. You got the Vanguard America. You got the white citizens, conservative citizens of America. You got all these different groups with all these different symbols. They even got haircuts that they're using, and they communicating on you without you even knowing it. Right? They've been posted up a picture of a frog in front of something called Kekistan, and you don't know what they're doing. You need to know their symbols, because you might be in a room with 12 white supremacists and don't even know it. What's that song? You don't even know it. Who that is? ASAP. What's that? ASAP Rocky? You don't even know. I don't know who it was. You don't even know. That wasn't Gucci, but
I said Future. I don't know.
Oh, it might have been Future. Okay. So know their symbols and know their signs. And I'm just drinking Gatorade. It's Black August, so I have to train and drink. And I know some people might not say it's healthy, but it's better than soda. Is it, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Okay. Nah, that's my nutritionist.
That's it. Work out.
Yeah, and I train. Nah. All right. Know their signs and their symbols. And this should have been number 1. Just recognize that you're at war. That's why I'm glad Trump bringing it to the surface, because you can't really fight a war if you still don't believe you're at war. You see what I'm saying? You can't treat your cold if you don't recognize you got a cold. You're not going to deal with your problem if you don't recognize it's there. So now we all got to recognize it's there. Y'all didn't see it with the torches? saying blood in the soil, that's another one of their quotes. When you hear them say blood and soil, when you see these white people that are all into German mythology and the god Odin, Odinism, Iraq veteran 8888, these internet figures, these gun figures, these are white supremacists speaking in code. Okay? Now, recognize that you're at war. It was the cops killing us. Now, did you see, and I guess I'll jump down to this point. The cops in Virginia said, it's nothing we can do. We out. They beating people down, running them over with cars. They got their torches. They tearing stuff up. We can't handle this with the white folks. Now, the black folks was up there talking about hands up, don't shoot. And, hey, we have, Barack was the president, but it looked more like what Trump said he gonna do to North Korea. Fire and fury. When they had hands up, don't shoot. I saw SWAT teams. I saw tactical military assault teams, army tanks, battering rams, metal steel shields, AR-15s, night vision goggles, tear gas, rubber bullets. Damn!
You name it.
You name it. You name it. Now you mean to tell me, if the black people go out and say, hands up, don't shoot, right? Some of them throw a bottle or something. You bring out full military might. You declare a state of emergency. But if the white people come out for war, they came out for war. The cops say, nothing I can do, right? Now, y'all want me to tell y'all a little secret? The reason the cops had to take off early that day is so they could go get their torches and get over there with their friends. That's why they couldn't handle the situation. They was like, Bobby's having all the fun. And the sheriff and the boss was like, okay, we're out. Go get your torches and your Confederate flags and come on back out for the party. That's why the cops couldn't do nothing. That was over there with their homeboys. You don't believe me? You better believe it. I'm in court with them every day. The police think that patrolling black neighborhoods is a military game, right? They lie so much. First of all, they come to court in their full uniform. It look like they're going to war. They got a vest. They got extra magazines, flashlights, tasers, guns, ammo. There'll be a little weak cop, 150 pounds. By the time he put on all that military gear, he's sitting up like this. Right? I just cross-examined about 4 of them. Every one of them was a liar. But they riding around in unmarked cars, jumping. They pretending like they on Call of Duty. Care about that neighborhood. They'll stump you to death. They don't care about no black people. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. But that's why the cops in Virginia couldn't stop them. They had to go join the party. Now, you have to prepare your children. Oh, now we're talking. Okay, now y'all might see why BPM was a little bit warlike. Your children are at risk. Your children are at stake, especially if they have to interact with a large amount of white people every day. Now, I hate to say it, but I'm just going to have to. If your children go to school with a lot of Europeans, if your children are surrounded by them on the sporting teams, they are at risk. They can be killed. Because do you think mom and daddy going to the Confederate rally and their sons and daughters aren't learning it too? Do you think? And the kids, they take it to another level than their parents. Okay, well, you try it then. I'm going to tell you a story. One of my friends was telling me about a black kid who went into the bathroom at school, middle school, 6th grader. And he was in the stall. And while he was outside the stall, he heard 3 or 4 white kids planning how they were going to kill him when he came out. How one of them was going to give him a hug or something, and that was going to give the other one the opportunity to put him in a chokehold, and that was going to give the other one the opportunity to stab him. Right? Traumatized this kid for the rest of his life. This was before Trump. Traumatized the kid for the rest of his life. The problem is that an adult came in, the whole plot got foiled, but when he went and told on the kids, they didn't even punish him. So I guess he needed to be dead first. But what I'm saying to you is, if you send your kid to school with Europeans in this climate, you better know they could be killed. and they better know how to defend themselves. They better know how to be alert and stay out of situations where they are alone with multiple European children, because they can be killed. You think I'm playing? You see what happened to the boy in Georgia when they rolled him up in the mat and said he killed himself? Do you see? That was at school. They beat him to death, rolled him up in a mat, and said he did it to himself. Kendrick Johnson. I have to make this up. So your children better be trained in how to escape, how to pay attention to their surroundings. Don't you go in the bathroom with 4 Europeans. I don't know why the hell you sending them to school with all these Europeans, but if you're dumb enough to do it, you better prepare them, since you think it's better that way. Don't go in that bathroom. And if you go in there and they there, you come the hell back out. You hold it. I better hold it and pee on myself than be dead. And you better get them into something to teach them how to box, wrestle, and get out of a chokehold. Yeah, we're going to be doing it this Saturday. Park, Elm Street in Jackson. We training everybody that come out there. If you black and you want to learn how to defend yourself, you want to learn how to box, you want to learn how to wrestle, you want to learn some submissions, you want to learn some submission defense, because if they get behind you and choke you out, it's over. You better learn how to get out of a chokehold. I'm talking about if you're 60 years old or if you're 3 years old, come Saturday. If you're a woman or a man, come Saturday. If you want to know how to defend yourself, I'm going to have a person who knows judo, jiu-jitsu, and people who know boxing and wrestling there to teach you, and me, because I'm going to always learn something more. I want to learn how to bust up. I ain't going to tell you what I'm going to learn. Okay? Saturday, come on out. Professor Griff, meet and greet, Marcus Garvey celebration. Make sure your kids are protected. If you don't know how to fight, get on YouTube. Watch Roy Jones Jr., Bernard Hopkins, Mike Tyson, and then when you get done with that, go watch Cain Velasquez. You need to go watch Tyrone Woodley and Anderson Silva. And when you get done with that, you need to go watch one of these Gracie brothers and learn some jiu-jitsu. You can learn anything on YouTube. Or you could just join BPM. But either way, you need to learn and you need to know. You need to know, damn it, because you might not have a gun. All right? I'm going to my next step. You need to form an alliance with your neighbors. Now, black people, we sometimes have a habit of not really speaking to our neighbors, getting to know them, and even I have a problem with this sometimes. But it needs to be at least 3, 4, 5 people in your neighborhood who you got their number. Right? See how simple this is? Do you got their number? So y'all should be watching each other's houses when you're gone, you know, because anything can happen. But also, you can call them when something breaks out. You should find 3 or 4 real black men in your neighborhood. Get their number, but they got to be real. Because if you say, hey, you know, we need to be prepared for something, and they say, oh, that's in the pack, get the hell away from them. You don't want them. You need to find something that's aware of what's going on and say, brother, if something go down, you know, and I'm not around, you know, make sure my family is taken care of. And if you're not around, I'll watch yours. But if we all around, we'll come together and tear that shit up. Hey, that's a simple start. Speak to your black neighbors, get to know them, you know, build some rapport. That's a good start because it starts with teamwork. Like I just said, 1 man with 1 gun, that's good. But 10 men with 10 guns? 20 with 20? Oh, yeah. Now we stopping Nazis. You see what I'm saying? So do that. And but the first key is that you can't be living in an all-white neighborhood because your ass is out of gas then. Right? If they want to have a Nazi march and you live out there with the Nazis, with the Confederate flag flyers, you don't got nobody to call. You better have a good escape strategy. So that's why when you run out to these suburbs and these gated communities thinking you're going to be safe, you might have just did yourself in. Would you agree, Zeke? Mm-hmm. Okay. Because at least if you live around some black people, you might be able to find one good one. I know I could find a few good ones off the top of the head. All right, next rule. Arm yourselves. Do I need to say any more?
No, big fella, I think you got it.
Okay. Arm yourselves and train. Meaning you know how to load that gun, unload that gun, fix a malfunction, and get on target, at least if you're 15 yards away. I ain't saying you got to be able to hit a target 250 yards away yet. That'd be nice. If you can afford a nice scope, you can do it with no skill. But what I'm saying is, arm yourselves now. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to take it back. I don't care what kind of gun you have. It's better than nothing. I said it. But not a high point. Okay. Now, somebody told me, now I know not a high point handgun. Unless you're going to use that for a club. Now, that make a good club. Now, you bust a Nazi over the head with that high point, he'll be the deadest Nazi in the cemetery. But I'm talking about if you're trying to shoot the gun. Now, some gun experts have told me that Nazis got a good carbine. It's a pistol caliber carbine that shoot like 9mm or 40 or something. They say high point make it is real good. I say, okay, I believe you, but I'm not buying it. Right? I have my experiences with high points. Arm yourselves and train. There's a reason Robert F. Williams fought Klan members for years and never lost a single soldier. It's a much more even fight when both sides are shooting. Would you go into a boxing match and not throw any punches? Better yet, would you go into a boxing match without your hands? So how the hell are you going to stand up to Nazis with no weapons? Because they got them. Like Lil Wayne and Birdman said, I got him, they got him. Okay? And I never want to quote those gender-confused individuals again, but that one came to mind. All right. All forms of hand-to-hand combat. Don't just know how to box. That's not going to get you there. Don't just know how to wrestle. That's not going to get you there. Don't just know jiu-jitsu. Study all of them. Be Mike Tyson, Horace Gracie, Anderson Silva, Roy Jones, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar. Be all of them. Because you never know. It might be two of them. See, that's what I'm getting ready for next. Ain't too many Nazis going to beat me one-on-one. I'm 6 foot tall, 280 pounds. I bench 500, deadlift 625. Division I athlete, trained boxing, wrestled heavyweight in high school, learning the basics of all the different martial arts as I go. I done been in the cage. I done been in the boxing ring. I don't think it's too many Nazis that's going to beat me one-on-one unless they're pro, training every day. You know what I'm saying? Ain't too many out here going to mess with me. Now I'm getting ready for two. All right? I'm getting ready for if it's two Nazis. Yeah, I'm going to be able to deal with two. What about you, Zeke?
Yeah.
How many you going to deal with, Jonathan?
I got to be able to take two. At least two.
At least two. What about you, Sadiq? Sadiq bought some new shoes. They real light. He going to run. They real lightweight. They Nikes. He just was out there working on his takeoff. Because he said if he can get 40 yards ahead, they'll never catch him. That's what Sadiq told me. That's what Sadiq told me. Nah, Sadiq is a fighter too. Sadiq is a fighter too. Okay, all forms of the martial arts. So now you got your weapons, you got your martial arts, you got your community network. You can text, you can send out a text and get 5 men out there if something go down. Now you're moving in a good direction. Now you need to fortify and defend. What do I mean by that? I'm not going to the rally. Right? I'm telling you right now, if they have a Nazi rally in Jacksonville and it's not in the black community, I'm not going to go. So don't come up saying, Vern, you a Tom. Why you went out there at the rally? I don't want to spend my money on Bun. Because if I go down to that rally, one of them called me a nigger, I bust him in his face. I'm going to bust him hard in his face and beat his ass. Then they're going to arrest me, and the rally going to keep going, and then I'm going to be in jail, and I got to deal with the Florida bar. I'm not going to go to the rally. Don't look for me and don't look for BPM. We won't be there. But what we will be doing is getting ourselves lined up right where we need to be in case they come for us. Right? Because I don't care what they do with the statue. Tear it down, put it up, paint it. Nigga, you can give Bruce Jenner a statue for all I care. I'm not coming to the rally. But if you dare come over to the north side, or either I stay or my family members stay or my people, when you get ready to intrude, that's when we're going to take off. Okay? I don't advocate for black people going out there. What the hell are you going out there for? You going to shoot somebody? Now you're going to go out there and kill one Nazi. You might even don't kill him if you got a high point. You're going to miss. And go to jail for nothing. Just to take a stand. Or you're going to be out there like D-Ray trying to take pictures and tweet. And then they bust you all up over the head. See what I'm saying? I'm not going to go to the rally. Because I know what I'm going to come for if I go to the rally. Hell, I can't even go to my gym I used to go to no more. Okay? But if they come to Myrtle, Moncrief, Dunn Avenue, Lim Turner, if they come anywhere where my people are, then it's self-defense, right? My mama stay over there. You can't go by her house, right? You can't come where I am and my children are. Wait a minute, you better go back over there by that statue. So this is what I say. I'm not going to the rally, but I'm gonna be like, hey, Jonathan, hey, Will, hey, Vern, Sadiq, make sure all the extra magazines are loaded. We're gonna be out here having a barbecue. That's what they gonna think. What are all those black people doing out there? We're just having a barbecue. Come on over.
Turn into the 4th of July?
It's going to be the 4th of July. Praise God and pass the ammunition. Right? Now, how about that? Don't go do any violence. Don't go attack anyone. Don't go initiate anything. Don't go down there and start nothing. I don't ever advocate initiating any violence, ever. What Malcolm said, walk in peace with all men and mankind. But if they come for you, then you better do. No, I ain't gonna say what I was about to say. I ain't gonna say that. If they come for you, you know what to do. And last but not least, no, it's two last but not least, have an exit strategy. I learned this for the last hurricane. I didn't know if it was going to flood, if the power was going to be out. I had generators, I had food, I had guns, I had ammunition, but that can all run out. You got to have an exit strategy. Right? You got to have an exit strategy. If it get to be too many Nazis and your men can't hold down the fort, you better have a big-ass truck and a bug-out bag packed, and y'all better head for the hills, live to fight another day. Right? Because if they can overwhelm BPM, they pretty bad. Because I'm telling you, we're going to fight like some dogs. You ain't allowed to be in BPM if you can't fight. Do you see? You ain't allowed to be in BPM if you're not willing to fight. We'll teach our 5-year-old kids how to shoot and our women. Because we already knew this was coming. Y'all had to see the Virginia thing. We already knew. Do it look like we didn't know? It's a $75 holster right here. Ain't no reason for nobody to have this. Why in the hell are you going to be carrying the Desert Eagle in Florida? It's not an open carry state. I don't know. But once you get me started, I never stop. Okay? So those are your rules. Have your exit strategy. Because if your team breaks down and you have total chaos like in Katrina, I think if you had a chance, get up out of there for all that come. Right? And last but not least, do not rely on the police for protection. The police and all the authorities told the people in New Orleans, if you stay, you on your own. Right? And they meant it. They want you dead anyway. The people and there was a college there with black students in Virginia, and the police told them, we out of here. Now you call the 911 and it's going straight to voicemail. You rely on them if you want to. You rely on them if you want to. I'm not going to do it. Again, I'm not advocating violence. I'm not advocating starting any conflicts. I'm not advocating anything outside of constitutional, legal, responsible, armed self-defense and group defense, community defense. That's it. I'm not saying go after nobody. Matter of fact, I'm telling you not to go after nobody. But like they say in the hood, don't come for me. If you come for me, I'm going to just say like I always say. BPM today.
BPM tomorrow. BPM for life.
Baby. Arm yourselves. Any closing thoughts, Sadiq?
No.
Vern?
No, I'm good.
Jonathan?
Just be smart, my people. As Brother Jackson has said, do not put yourself in a situation to need to start something. These people, black people, had no damn business out there in that Klan rally. You know what these people are there for.
Mhm.
Why you gonna go put yourself in a situation? You went there to start some shit. Let's just be real.
Mhm.
That's the reason in the law, when they come to you, you have the right to defend yourself.
Mhm.
So keep yourself on good ground.
And like you said, I don't know why you're going to the rally, but you definitely shouldn't be going by yourself. Like you saw black people out there by themselves, like the white people was going to take care of. Yeah.
I gotta put one more thing in.
Go ahead.
Do not let these crazy, ignorant white liberals talk y'all asses into going and getting your ass in trouble.
Right.
If you look at this damn girl in Virginia who just got arrested on a felony, they sitting around chanting and talking about pull it down, pull it down. She climbed her happy ass up there, ties a rope around it, and they cheering, but yet she's the one going to jail. Don't let them talk into no mess.
What she pulled down?
A statue in Virginia.
I thought the government was going to pull it down.
No, you didn't see that? You didn't see the girl? There was a girl, black girl,
Mm-hmm.
in the midst of all these Europeans
Mm-hmm.
who getting hyped up by them. Now they standing back clapping, hyping her up.
Mm-hmm.
But yet she's the one that's committing the quote-unquote crime. So while they hyping her up, she going to jail.
I would have said, you put it down, you put it up.
Correct. Correct.
We didn't put it down. All right. Hey, God bless. Don't forget, Marcus Garvey weekend, BPM, we all up in that. Saturday, we at the park. We training everybody in self-defense. Sunday, we out at American Beach. We coming at deep. Professor Griff coming to Jacksonville. We celebrating one of our greatest ancestors ever, Garvey. I just feel bold just saying it. Up, you mighty race, and accomplish what you will. I love you all, and we will see you. If something break out, I might have to come back, but nothing break out. See you next week. God bless Africa.